Hello everyone, this is Philippine from pantechelearning and I welcome you all for engage your learning experience with pantechelearning anytime, anywhere and any places. We are always supporting to the students in a technical way. What is our main vision? We are going to help 10 million students to learn the technical knowledge by the easy way. And I welcome you all to today's session of Data Sync Masterclass program. In this particular program, I'm going to discussing with you the one of the interesting project that is actually the groundwater level prediction. So once again, greetings to all and welcome you all for this particular session. I hope you guys are so excited to listen in the classes. If you guys are excited means please give your thought in comment box right now. If you guys are excited means please give your thought in comment box right now. After that, I can continue this particular session. So without delay, I'm going to enter in the topic. So today I'm going to discussing with you the groundwater level prediction. It can be possible. Why? Because of based on the several criteria, based on the several data feature, what is the level of that particular groundwater? Maybe that medium, maybe that upper, maybe that lower. This kind of the categories will be there based on the several criteria. So based on the several data features only, it can be possible to classifying it, whether it is low or high or medium or dry, like that we can the predict. In the same way, with the help of some kind of the past data, we are going to training the computer. We are going to training the model. That means the machine learning model or machine learning algorithm is expecting the data to training a model. After that only it can be possible to do that. So that means we are going to feeding the past data for this particular task. That is actually the groundwater level. Based on this particular feature, the groundwater level will becomes like that. For an example, the temperature range and also the rainfall range. So based on these two different criteria, the water level will come. If the rainfall value is very high, in the sense, of course, the groundwater level will be increased. If the rainfall water level is the low, in the sense, that time the groundwater level is going to be reduced. So that is why the data features is most important. So based on the humidity, based on the the temperature range, of course the temperature range is very high. Maybe that you can consider one thing, April and May, or that between that particular month, what is the groundwater level range? Of course it is going to be reduced when compared with other month. Why? Because of in a rainy time, you should consider in a rainy time, that time the temperature range and also the rainfall range will be increased. In the sense, of course, the groundwater level is going to be increased. Based on these particular data features only, it can be possible to classifying it. It can be possible to increase or decrease, like that. We can predict that. So that means, what should I say here? The data features is the most important thing. Based on the rainfall time, based on the temperature range. Maybe that the May month or April month, the groundwater level will be is going to be decrease. And what about the rainfall? So maybe that in a rainy time, September or that time means the rain is going to fall. In the sense, that time the groundwater level is going to be increased. How we can predict that? Of course, the rain will come. The rainfall is too much of rainfall will be there. In the sense, the rainfall ranges increases. In the sense, of course, that the groundwater level is going to be increased. Okay, in the same way we can predict. That is the human the prediction. But in a computer is expecting the properized data to training a model. Am I right? Properized data to training a model. Then only it can be possible to predict. So we have a data to training a model. Okay, so what is our objective of this particular project? We are going to build a model for groundwater level prediction by using the machine learning algorithms. So machine learning algorithm can do all the tasks without any human help. That means with the help of the data we are going to train, we are going to teach the computer. Of course, these particular data features, this much output will become. These particular data features, this output will come. We are going to teach the computer with the help of the past data. So here also I am going to using the supervised machine learning algorithm. Why? Because of what is our task? Groundwater level prediction. That is actually the categorical problem. Based on the data features, of course, the groundwater level will becomes like this. Based on the data features, the groundwater level high or low or medium or dry. What is the categorical problem will be here. that we gonna to predict. So here I'm going to use the supervised machine learning algorithms. So what is our objective? We are going to build a model for ground water level prediction by using the machine learning algorithms. Okay, right. So what are the algorithms I'm going to use today? Actually, it is the classification or categorical problem majorly. So in generally, binary classification problem in this logistic regression will giving the good prediction for that. So here I am going to use the logistic regression. Why? Because of frequently I am going to use the classification problem, the logistic regression only. Why? Because of it will be written the good prediction. So that is the reason I have choose here. And what about the decision tree? Decision tree is also like that. But here the conditional based output will become. So that is the reason I have chosen here the decision tree. Why? Because of our task is completely related to the conditional basement task. That means temperature range, weather range, and also the that the rainfall range. The water will be increase or decrease. Based on this particular value only, the groundwater level will be predict that. So that is the reason the conditional based it is going to be what. So that is the reason I'm going to choose the the decision tree here in the same way for the random forest as well. So random forest is a majorly helpful for classification problem and also the categorical problem. That is the reason I have chosen the three different algorithms. We don't know which one has performed very well. So how we can find that which one is performed very well? How we can choose the best algorithm for our particular target? Of course, we can choose based on the evaluation process. Based on the evaluation process. So, if for an example, in between these three different algorithms, the decision tree will give a 93% of the output in this. Of course, the decision tree will be the good model. It will be predict very well. So that is the reason we can choose the algorithm based on the accuracy score of that particular model. Already I told you what is the purpose of the evaluation process. The evaluation process will help to find the best model for our particular target. That is the reason we can go for the evaluation process. That means we are going to calculate the each and every model of the accuracy score. Based on that accuracy score, we can choose the best model for our particular target. Am I right? If you agree means please mention in the comment box yes, Philip. Please mention in the comment box as well. I hope you guys are agreed about this. If you agreed means please mention in the comment box as well. So this is the way we can find the best model for our particular target, right? No? Yeah. So it is super cool, excited to the continue this particular session because of I felt the session is the energetic way is going right now. Okay, fine. So now what is the project actions? So that is the most important thing, right? So for an example, here in every machine learning projects, we have to collecting the data from the different sources and also we need to loading the data to the system with the help of the import function and with the help of the pd.read.csv function will help to loading the data set to the programming. So we need to collecting this data for the several the data collection of ground water level prediction. That is the data collection here. And what is the second process? We need to processing on that particular data. Maybe that is there any null values or not. So is null values will be there in the sense we need to handling the data with the help of the two different methods. That is dropping and also the imputation method. That will be help to that cleaning the data. So data pre-processing is majorly helpful for making the properizing data for model training. Okay, why? Because of the machine learning algorithm can expecting the properized data to training the model. So if you are not making the properizing data with the help of you are going to train with the help of any without cleaning in this, of course the model will not perform very well. It will not predict it very well. So that is the reason the cleaning is the most important part. I hope you guys have understood about that. Okay, fine. So pre-processing in the sense standardizing the data, label encoding, and what is that cleaning the null values. These all are the process we have to done this particular base. After that, we need to separating the data, that is independent data and also the dependent data. Independent means X and dependent means Y. So that means it will be help to creating the training data as well as the testing data with the help of the train test split function that can possible to create a training data as well as the testing data. So what is the purpose of training data? Of course, you know it because we discussed these several machine learning projects before that. So that means it will be help to training a model X train and also the Y train. And also test data will help to evaluate the model, and it will be help to find the performance of the model and accuracy score as well. So that is the reason we can create the training data as well as the testing data in this particular base. Once you created the X train, Y train, X test, Y test, after that we need to creating a model. So what is the concept of the model creation? We need to creating the object for that particular algorithm function. For example, linear regression or logistic regression, which is get it from linear model. That is sklearn.linear model, then import the logistic regression. Then what about decision tree? We are going to import from sklearn dot tree is a model, then decision tree classifier is the function. So you have to create the object for that particular function. That is nothing but the model creation. I hope you can understand about this. Okay, so this is the way you can creating the model like this. Okay, so once the model training process is completed, we need to feeding the new data to the trained model that will be predict to the groundwater level. Maybe that it is high or low or medium or dry like that. When I want to feeding the new data to the trained model, that particular trained model will help to the predicting the groundwater level. So this is the project actions today we have to follow. Okay, so without delay, I'm going to explaining in a coding way. That is the most important part. For most of the people are so excited to listening and get into that particular practical way. So coding ways as well, right? Are you guys are excited to getting into that? If you guys are excited, means please raise your hands in comment box right now. Because of try to understand one thing. This is not a regular class. I need a more interaction from you guys. If you're not responding properly, this is of course this particular session will be boring way. I believe in interaction. If you're not interact me in the sense, of course, this session will be completely boring. I don't want to make that because I believe the interaction and I want to make my session as an interesting way. And also, if you guys are really like this particular session, means don't forget to hit the like button and also give the give your commands in comment box for this particular session, especially. Right. So without delay, I'm going to get into that. Note, if you guys are really like this particular session, don't forget to hit the like button. If you are giving the likes, means that is will help to encouraging myself. So don't hesitate to hit the like button. Please do immediately if you are really like this particular session. Okay, right. So without delay, I'm going to entering to explaining the coding wise. I will explain one by one. Okay, right. So you want to learn more about this particular project, and also you want to learn about this particular code. In the sense, we have a several offer for this particular this masterclass into the internship. How we can do that? How we can do that? You want to make this particular masterclass into the internship. Who all are ready to do the internship on data science programming in the sense, please do join immediately. The link is mentioned in the description. Now you can convert this masterclass into the internship. This is the special offer for these particular masterclass participants. If you are interested to do the internship on data science technology in this is the right opportunity to do the internship program on data science technology. So what is the benefit of this particular internship? You can access that completely free on YouTube 30 days of live session. And recorded videos, you will be receiving recorded videos, the accessible 90 days of accessible to recording videos. And 8+ projects you will be learn, built and developed with me. And you will be learn more about this particular project in data science technology. And you can receive the source code of these particular 8+ projects. Normally we charge each and every project nearly 6,000 rupees. But in this particular internship, we are going to teach you for this particular each and every project, and we can give the source code as well and also the presentation as well. Okay, so the downloadable presentation we are giving for these particular 30 days of data science masterclass. And also, you can receive the hackathon classes for every Saturday, and you can receive the confirmation letter which is getting from pantechelearning and certificate which is getting from pantechelearning. This is the benefit of that. And one more major benefit. Most of the people are expecting you to pay the money in a good quality. For good quality. For example, I pay for 1 rupees, one chocolate in the sense. The chocolate is good in the sense I can pay for it. Otherwise, I don't want to spend the money for that particular chocolate. That is the human nature. That means you are expecting the good quality of this particular internship, right? I assure you that for the content wise, definitely I will assure you that I don't want to make disappointed to you. Why? Because of I believe myself to giving the same of this particular internship. So first believe myself, then only I can promote this particular internship, right? So if you are interested, please do join immediately. I don't disappoint you. Why? Because of I believe myself. I gave more content to you to learn about the data science technology. I assure you that this will be a very quality for this much of money. So that is the reason I assure you that. And also this is the quality classes for you to learn about this, because of people mentality is expecting the quality. For the quality, I assure you that because of I believe myself to taking this particular session. Okay, right. So normally we charge each and every internship nearly 1,000 rupees, but we are giving nearly 590 rupees. Use the coupon code TSA3. Use the coupon code TSA3. That our discounted fee will be nearly 590 rupees. So the link is mentioned in the description of this particular live session, and otherwise they are mentioning in the command box as well. So if you are not if you're not finding in the command box in the sense, just go to this particular description of this particular session. You can find that, and they will be mentioning that procedure to enrolling this particular program. Please do join immediately. If you are interested, you can join right now. So what are all the projects I'm going to discuss with you? Credit score, stress prediction, social ads classification, groundwater level prediction, kernel analysis prediction, drowsiness reduction, chatbot creation, electricity price prediction. These are all the projects I'm going to discuss with you in this particular data science internship program. Don't hesitate. For the quality, I assure you that you don't disappoint. Why? Because of I believe myself. That's why I can promote my classes to you, because of I take the more content for I took the more content for this particular data science technology. So please believe myself, and also if you are interested, please do join immediately. I assure you that this is the very valid and much valid for this much of money. Okay, right. So without delay, I'm going to entering my time. So I'm going to entering the coding. Yeah, sorry. So coding wise, I'm going to explaining one by one. Then only you can understand in a easier way without delay. Yeah. First, what should we need to do for this? So first, we need to upload this particular CSV file, which you the located in your system. So you have to upload this particular file. Okay, this is groundwater.csv. Now I can go for import the necessary library, that is NumPy will help to working with the arrays, Matplotlib will help to visualizing the data, and Pandas will help to manipulating the data. That already we know that. In the same way for the Cbond as well. Cbond will help to visualizing the data of yours. Okay, after that I can reading this particular data set. How it can be possible? Just go to this particular the file and copy the path and also to paste it here. So pd.read csv will help to loading this particular data set to this particular program. So once it is loaded, so this is a confirmation of this particular loading the data. So tb in the sense database dot header function will display the first file of this particular data, and you can see it here. For an example, yeah. For an example, each and every data features states for the state and recharge from the rainfall monsoon session, and also the season, and recharge from the other sources, and recharge from the rainfall, and recharge from the other sources, and also the total rainfall comes like this, and also the natural discharge during the non-monsoon, and net annual groundwater availability. These all are the data features, and irrigation and domestic industry uses, and total usage, and projected demand for the domestic and also the industrial usage up to 2025, and groundwater availability of irrigation using. And finally, this is the target situation is excess, semi-critical, and excess moderated. Moderated means medium, excess means high, and semi-critical means a medium and below medium, like that. Okay, right. So this is the data set we are going to use to predict that. So I'm going to show this particular data. I'm going to explore in this particular data right now. So db dot A shape will help to display this particular data, size of this particular data, that is 29, and also the 14 columns and 29 entries. And this is a very less amount of the money. Just for the understanding, I can less that amount of the numbers of the data. So 29 and also the 14. So 29 is a rows and also the 14 is a column here. So this is a very less amount of the data. Okay, but okay, so I'm going to use just for the understanding. So tb dot information will help to display the information of this particular data, and this is the columns name here. Rain charts from rainfall monsoon session, and also the rain chart from other sources, and rain charts from rainfall non-monsoon season, and also the a rain chart from other sources and total rainfall, like that. It is the data set will be there. The columns name will becomes like this. And you can see one thing here, there is no null values here. So that is the reason it will be displayed the 29 of entries, non-null. And this is a data type of this. After that, I can go for counting plot. So this is the number of states representation, number of states representation. So this situation is actually the target data. So call that SP. Okay, SP means C bond, that you can see it here. So SP is the sense that is C bond here. So yeah, cbond dot count plot for situation for this particular database. You can see it here. It will be displayed axis. This is the categories of the target data: semi-critical and moderator and critical. Critical in the sense this is completely dry. Okay, so for this particular data, the majorly critical will be there. Critical will be there. So, and also the another thing is excess. Excess is actually the second phase, and third rank will be the semi-critical, and moderate will be the third critical. That means a very the huge amount of the data for this is actually the critical thing. After that, test through the label encoder. Here I'm going to using the label encoder. So how, in the sense, we need to splitting the data first. So here X is a independent data and Y is a dependent data. Here I'm going to accessing from 5, 6, 7, 10 and 11 and also the 12. So here I mentioned the specific index number of this particular data. That means colon, then comma, and I can specify any index here. Okay, any index here. For an example, 5 I needed, 6 I needed, and 7 needed. You can see it here. 5 is total rainfall, 6 is a natural discharge during that, and also what is that, the irrigation is there? No, there is no irrigation will be there. 7 directly, 10 here total usage and projected demand for the domestic and also the industries uses up to the 2025, and this will be groundwater availability for the future, the things. So 5, 6, 7 and 10 and 11 the 12 will be there. That is actually the independent data. This much data is needed for training the model and also the testing the model. Then why data is, of course, only situation, because of that is the target data here. So dot values will help to assigning the data to this particular variable, and after that I can using the label encoder for Y data, because of that is situation, that is the object that we need to convert, because of the computer can't understanding this string. That is the reason we need to converting into the numerical format. So from sklearn dot preprocessing, then import label encoder. That particular label encoder will help to converting the object into the integer. So label encoder of Y, then they call this particular function. This is nothing but the object creation for this particular function. After that, Y is equal to dot foot of Y, it is going to be assigning the value here. After that, I can the splitting the for training and also the testing. So I can pass X and also the Y here. So X train, X test, Y train and also the Y test. So training data and testing data. So this particular function which is get it from sklearn model selection, then train test split function, you can passing this independent data and dependent data, and testing size is 0.25. That is nothing but 25% of the testing data and remaining 75% of the training data. Then random state here is a 0. Now I'm going to standardizing the data using this feature scaling. That is actually the standardized scalar. So already we discussed standardizing the data, how to do that. With the help of this particular function, it can be possible to do that. So that is the reason from sklearn dot pre-processing, then import the standard scalar function. So I can creating the object of this particular function for xtrain. I can make it that the standardizing data of xtrain, and I can making the standardizing data of xtest as well. Okay, after completing this one, I'm going to creating a model. First model is logistic regression. So from sklearn dot linear model, then import logistic regression. So this is the model name classifier. Then this is actually the logistic regression here. Now I'm once model is created, in the sense after that I can the training the model with the help of training data, that is x train and also the y train. The model is created. Now you can find the accuracy score for training data as well as the testing data. You can see it here. Y predict of classifier dot predict of x test. So this is the prediction. So here I am going to predicting the test result. Okay, training result that I will going to discuss with you. So Y classifier dot predict of x test. So now I'm going to making the confusion matrix. So matrix dot confusion matrix will help to evaluating the accuracy score. So CM, then confusion matrix, then Y test and Y prediction. So that is actually the accuracy score. This is the confusion matrix value. Once you are going to the entering to this one, in the sense it will be giving the result for the confusion matrix here. Yeah, I'm going to run it one more time for fully this. Then only it can be possible to do that immediately. Yeah, you can see it here for this particular the confusion matrix of this particular data. Okay, so this is the prediction value. This is the prediction value of that particular array of this particular confusion matrix. Now I'm going to calculate the accuracy score for testing data, accuracy score for training data. That you can see it here. Testing data on 50%, training data on 85%. That means it is not much similar. So as we can see this particular data, it didn't occurs desired deserted accuracy. That means, and the overfitting problem is arise. Why? Because of the training accuracy is nearly 85, but testing accuracy is nearly 0.5. That is 50%. That means it is not similar. Of course, this will be actually the overfitting problem will be there. So now we are going to use that dummy variable to trap over that overcome this particular problem. So that means what should we need to do? So we are going to making the dummy value of this particular data. Okay, so here 85% and 50% in the sense not much similar. So 85% of training data in the sense, of course it will be overfitting problem. So we have to face it. So now I am going to use the dummy variable. So I created the availability variable, then pd.get dummies of only for situation the column. Okay, so you can see it here. The x is, yeah, you can see it here. X is moderated and semi-critical. Critical is not needed here, so that is drop first. So the availability of this is actually the data will becomes like this. After that, I'm going to drop this particular situation. Drop this particular situation of the axis one. Axis one in the sense it will be help to accessing the column. Now it is going to be removed. You can see it here. There is no situation will be there in this particular data. Then next, what should we need to do here? So we can go for creating the new data to concatenate db. Already we removed the situation. We can add the availability data to the x-axis. That is one axis one. That is the column. Now you can see this particular data. Because we are going to overcome of this, so we are going to creating all the things. For an example, removing and also solving the problem for overfitting. Now I am going to create the x data and also the y data here. The same value here. We have to creating it. After that, same thing creation for the training data and also the testing data, passing the x and also the y. This is actually the 0.55, 45% of training and 50% of the testing. And finally, we need to making the standardizing the data and also for x train and also the x test. So once the data is standardized, in the sense, I'm going to use again and creating the same model again and passing the X train and also the Y train. Why? Because of we are going to adding the dummy values to solving the problem for the overfitting. Then going to calculate the accuracy score, and you can see it here. This is the prediction of this particular things, but you can see it here, the accuracy score for testing. You can that classify dot score for test and also the training. You can see it here 93 and also the 1. That means of course this is the problem will be solved here. The problem will be solved here. Why? Because of we can use the that the get dummy values. After that only it can give the problems solution here. So new data dot describe. Okay, you can see it here. It will be returning the 25 percentile, 50 percentile, and 75 percentile maximum value, and also the minimum value, standard deviation value, and mean value. This is the median value. Okay, after that, I'm going to get into the graphical representation to analyzing the data. Then I will tell you one by one. So graph dot the pie chart plot. You can see it here. So initially for the axis, of the data will be like this. So axis means 0 or 1, yes or no, the data will becomes like this. So here the count plot of axis, that it will be returning the no, and also the s, this much will becomes. Okay, so nearly 22 data is nearly that no, and 7 or 6 will be s. Okay, after that, the count plotting for the moderated of new data, you can see it here 0, the same thing, and also the S is actually nearly below 5. And heat map is going to be displaying for the correlation of the new data, and it is going to be find the relationship between the all the datas. And this is actually that displays the light color of this, and the darker color will be the positive value and lighter color will be the negative value. So for the correlation, it will be help to find the relationship between all the data features of this. After that, pie chart representation of net annum groundwater level. So here I'm going to choose the total rainfall, net annual groundwater, and total use and feature available, and projected demand and domestic and also the industry up to 2025, and natural discharge of this particular value, and size will be comes like this, the value will becomes like this, and the calls will be cm or pgy. So now it is going to be displays the the pie chart. Okay, the pie chart plot sizes. Okay, and labels already we defined. Colors is actually that maroon, red, blue, green, yellow, like that. And start angle 90 and shadow true and exploit, that range will becomes like this. And you can see this actually future availability is nearly 11.9. Natural discharge during the monsoon is actually 2.7, and projected demand for domestic and also the industry uses up to 2025 2.4, and total rainfall 33.4, and net annual groundwater 30.7, and total use 18.9. Now I'm going to plotting the scatter plotting. So scatter plotting for different data. So you can use the pair plotting of new data. X variance is actually the groundwater availability for the features, and Y variance is actually the annual net groundwater availability. Now kind is actually the scatter. I mentioned it here, and this is actually that histogram. You can see it here, the data will be plotted. We are going to the finding the relationship between the groundwater availability for the future irrigation and also the net annual groundwater availability. Okay, right, hope you guys are listening the classes. If you guys are listening the classes, means please mention in the comment box as Philip. Please mention in the comment box as Philip. Right, so after that, next we are going to find the relationship between recharge from rainfall monsoon session and also the that recharge from rainfall monsoon season. Here the plotting will be comes like this. Then pie chart representation of the situation, that is X is moderated, semi-critical and critical. This is the value and you can see this. So 30% of X is 26% of the critical and 70% of the 17% of the moderated and semi-critical nearly 26. So X is actually like the very high when comparatively other categories. And now you can see it here, this plot in between total rainfall and also the net groundwater and recharge in monsoon session. I'm going to displacing it for the first display, the histogram plotting, distribution plotting for recharge from rain session and also the total rainfall and also the net annual groundwater availability and legend will be for the three different things. So first you can see it here. Three distribution plottings will be there. All the data is going to be skewed. It is not normally distributed. You can see it here. It is not normally distributed. It is distributed this comes like this and it is skewed data towards the the right side. So right skewed data here. So when you are going to see this one in this, it is not a normally distributed. A right side skew will be there. In the same for that irrigation of the same things for groundwater level and also the today rainfall effect. This is also the not normally distributed and it will be distributed to the the second data is not normally distributed, that is total rainfall. It is right side queue data. Okay, and after that the new data, the plot and also the net annual and total usage of this particular data. This is actually the line plotting and you can see it here for total rainfall, net annual groundwater availability and total usage. It is going to be directly on displays the different colors. Total usage, net annual groundwater level availability and total rainfall. This will be that comes like this, but at certain period is going to be increased certainly. Then predicted to the decision tree classifier. I'm going to creating the importing this particular decision tree model and also the algorithm. So decision tree classifier, that is actually the algorithm. So I'm going to preparing the training data as well as the testing data like this. And this is actually the standardizing the data. And this is actually the that the scaled data for this preparing the data as well. And model training. So this is actually the model creation. This model name is tree and fit is actually training the model for training process is completed. Then feature importance is going to be displayed. Then accuracy score for this particular tree for the X train and also the Y train, it is very similar. It will trained very well. That will be returning another good accuracy score on that. The same thing for this one also. Okay, so here also the same thing will be happen here. After that the features name will becomes like this. Now I am going to predict it through the random forest. The same thing we have to follow, but the model will get it from that model is actually XML, then random forest classifier here. But here a tree is the model and also the finally decision tree will be the algorithm here. After that the same thing we have to follow it here. So sklearn dot that several things we are going to follow it here. So I'm going to preparing the independent data as well as the dependent data and preparing the training data as well as the testing data here. So that you can see it here. This is the way to creating that. Then model creation for random forest. So creating the object for this particular function and training for this particular model. And after that, it will be returning that 1.0 and also the 93. And for that training the same thing for that 1 and also the 93 will be there. Okay, so this is the way you can calculate the that accuracy score of this particular model, different models. So I'm going to plotting the logistic regression, decision tree and random forest. So matplot, numpy and also the matplot lib, and you can see it here. I'm going to creating the object of this particular function the column and model here. That is logistic regression, decision tree and also the random forest. Then y pose the range of the object, that is 3, and performance is actually LR result and TD result and also the RF result. You can see it here. It is going to be calculated here. Yeah. Now you can see it here. The LR result is going to be calculated. The random dot score for, like that it will be displays the result of random forest is 93%. Okay. Then LR for yeah, the TT result for that decision tree is actually that 1% or 100% and you can see it here that for logistic regression we calculated already. This will be that very similar to there. I'm going to that's plotting for this and see this particular things. I'm going to passing the performance is actually LR and TD is and also the random forest and Y pose we can pass it here the range performance you can pass it here, then align is a center and sticks is pose and also the object. Y is accuracy and accuracy level and title is the accuracy of the algorithm. You can see it here. So decision tree will returning the 100% of the accuracy. The random forest is 93%, but logistic regression is nearly 83% only. Then when you're going to see this particular plotting, you can understand one thing which is performed very well. Of course, the decision tree will perform very well. So that is the reason which one is the best model for our particular target. Of course, the decision tree. So what is the conclusion? What is the summary of this particular task? That is the most important thing. We collected the data, we preparing the data, and we plotted the data to analyzing the data for each and every concept of this particular data set. And we can choose the three different algorithm. One is the logistic regression. The logistic regression is actually that having the overfitting problem. So that is the reason we can go for the get dummies value. That particular get dummies will be increasing the accuracy score, will help to avoiding and solving the problem for the overfitting. That is the logistic regression. After that, we can that particular accuracy score is nearly when I am going to use the dummy value that is going to be increased nearly that 83 and also the 84 like that. That is the logistic regression. In the same way for the decision tree, we are going to train the model preparing the data for testing and training and also training the model with the help of the training data. It will be returning the accuracy score nearly 100%. In the same way for the random forest preparing the data and also the training the data, training the model, that particular model will nearly given the 93%. So after that we are going to plotting this for this particular based on the score of the each and every model. Based on the accuracy score, we can find the conclusion of this particular function. We can choose the best model for our particular task is of course the decision tree. This is a summary of this particular that coding explanation. Right? Hope you guys are understood about it. How cool is this? I hope it is very cool. So if it is cool in the sense, please give your heart in comment box right now. Please give your heart in comment box right now. Now I'm going to get into my time. Now I'm going to get into my time or our time. Okay, for most of the people considering as our time. So that is the reason I can go for our time. Yeah. Yes. Every day I'm mentioning one particular motivational quote to you and for me as well. When I'm reading the several motivational quote, that will be actually mostly closer connected to me. In the same way, I want to share it to you. Okay, so these particular motivational quote, which is get it from Buddha quotes. So this is actually very connected to me. Okay, and also more apted for everyone. Okay, fine. Now, what we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday. What we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday. Yesterday, we are thinking the past. That's the reflection of today, right? And our present thoughts built off our life for the tomorrow. So you are thinking of your thoughts on present situation that will be help to build the tomorrow of your life. So what is the point of this particular statement? Our life is creation of our mind. What you think, you can become. What you think, you can do. You are thinking like a good way, of course you will be succeed. You are thinking like a positive, of course you are going to be moving the positive way. If you are thinking like a bad, of course you will be down. That will be reflect on your life. You feel like very down, you feel like very negative. that will be reflect on your life. Don't forget it. So that's why I mentioned it here. Buddha also said like that. What we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday. I've affected several things today in the sense, of course, that is the past days or yesterdays of the thoughts that is affected today. If you are thinking today is a positive in the sense, that will be reflect on your tomorrow's life. So please consider why, because of what is the statement of this particular quotes. Our life is creation of our mind thoughts. If you are thinking positive, of course the positive will be happen. If you are thinking negative, you will be let it down. You want to become a good life, a good succeed life, or like the losing the life. That you have to decide based on your mind thoughts, processing on your mind. Keep it positive. What you think, you become. What you think, you become. Just keep it in your mind. Okay, right. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Explore your knowledge with us anytime, anywhere, and any places. You're always supporting to students in a technical way. Okay, right. So visit our website. Visit our website for the final year project www.pantechelearning.com. If you have any queries, any suggestions, and any feedback, please share one single mail to this particular mail ID philip.pedit@pantechmail.com. philip.pedit@pantechmail.com. I'm always here for you to support you, and also I will answer for your query. Okay, I will giving the suggestion, I can change it, and giving the feedback, I can enjoy it. Okay, so if you have any query to related to the internship, you can contact 8925533484. If you have any queries related to the internship, 8925533484. I hope you guys have enjoyed the today's session, and also it is very energetic session. I hope if it is like you guys are enjoyed means, please give your heart in comment box right now. And thank you so much. We'll wait you tomorrow with a different topic in this particular data science technology masterclass and also the internship. Bye bye.